What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings on eBay. Today, I have an awesome guest. I have Alex, Queen of Thrift, and she also has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna let her give a little bit of an introduction. Where do you sell? What do you do? And your Instagram is awesome.
Thanks. Hi guys, I'm Alex. You guys, if you follow me on Instagram, probably know me as the Queen of Thrift. I sell on Poshmark mainly and a little bit on eBay.
Sounds good. So this is going to be a great conversation because a lot of people have been asking me how to cross promote on the both platforms, but the only thing I do on Poshmark right now is buy. I find a lot of really, really good deals on men's stuff, and I don't know if that's because it's mainly a platform for women. What do you think?
I agree. I just got my boyfriend into Poshmark and he already sent offers. None of them actually got approved, but he has a lot of things that he's looking to buy, and he said that they have good deals for men's clothing. So I think it's definitely going to grow with men's.
I think so. Like I like to buy boots to resell, and it seems like the stuff that I'm buying is maybe the ex-boyfriend stuff. I don't know because it's like unusually cheap. So, do you feel like Poshmark is a lot of people selling their closet, or is there a lot of commercial people who do Poshmark for a living?
Honestly, I think it's like a good mix of both. Like you can kind of tell based on people's pictures, who's actually selling things from their closet compared to who's actually, in the reselling business. And definitely with the amount of listings that somebody has, you can kind of get the feel for it. So it's a good balance.
So, tell me, what do you like? What do you like about Poshmark? Give me the top three things you like.
Top three things. Number one is probably creativity and like the social aspect of it. Number two, I'd say definitely like the process with payments and the fees. They charge a flat rate fee of 20%, and it gets taken like right away when you make the sale. So I feel like it's cool because you can get like a better idea of how much money you're actually making. So you don't have like that monthly fee that eBay has. And number three, I'd say probably like the fashion aspect and staying on trend.
So, is there no store subscription?
No, it's not a store subscription. It's free to sell on there, except, when you do make your sales, they take their fees.
Okay. People are saying in the chat that you're a little bit quiet, but it's okay. I can hear you okay. So hopefully
Oh,
they can.
sorry.
No worries. So as far what do you like? We'll go into what do you like about eBay?
eBay, the only thing that I really like about eBay is probably just how big it is. So you have like a larger audience. So I feel like it's like you have more of a chance, I guess, of making a sale if your account's not established on Poshmark, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Okay. So what do you dislike about eBay? And then we'll go into what you dislike about Poshmark because I'm trying to compare.
Okay. What I don't like about eBay, I think a lot of people, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a couple posts. The return policy, I feel like it's kind of ridiculous with, they're so focused on their customers that they don't have as much seller protection as Poshmark does. So that's probably really the only thing, and the payment process.
Okay. What do you dislike about Poshmark?
Probably like how much sharing you have to do to keep, stay relevant. You gotta do lots and lots of work to make sales. It's constant staring at your phone 24/7.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about the listing process. Can you list things much faster on Poshmark versus eBay? And then can you talk about maybe some challenges with both or good things about both?
Sure. I kind of have the same process with listing with both. Like I take all my photos all at once. I do like 10 to 20 at a time to break it up just so I can take breaks here and there. And I list from my phone on both. I just feel like it's more convenient for me because I don't like sitting at desks. So with Poshmark, it used to be very time consuming because it would only allow you to select one photo at a time. And that killed me. Like literally killed me. Now they updated the app and you can select multiple images and you can add up to 8 images, whereas before it was only, I believe, 4 or 5 images. So, or like the eBay app and Poshmark app are very similar with listing. So I think both of them are it's pretty easy to list from your phone. The only thing I probably lack is maybe sitting down for a long period of time and listing. I can only do maybe like 5 to 10 before I'm distracted or hungry and have to get up.
Gotcha. And that's with both platforms?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So in that case, you batch. I mean, I batch in 25
Oh,
because I can't keep my attention longer than that, but I do like 100 a day. So like if you are at the 10 or 15, do you do it at different times of the day? How do you manage your day?
I'd say I usually do it like I do maybe like 10 in the morning, like mid morning before I start my shipping process. And then after I'm done shipping, then I'll try and do maybe 10 to 15 more. I think it kind of depends on my mood too. Some days I can list like 30 to 40 items, whereas other days I might list like 5 to 10 items, but I haven't noticed a difference as long as I'm listing every day. I think
Gotcha.
eBay's a little different. I know you eBay sellers, you guys are crazy with listing. I see like, state slates and all you guys listing like 100 items a day and I'm like, holy cow, I wish I could, but I can't.
No worries. So as far as um I'm trying to think of if it's worth it or not to go into Poshmark because I look at the pricing and the pricing on Poshmark for a lot of the items I sell is higher. But that's with the women's stuff. But with the men's stuff, I haven't even explored any selling men's clothing on Poshmark. I feel like I would almost have a advantage because there's not a lot of people doing it.
I think you definitely would have an advantage. And another thing too, I remember my boyfriend he was on there and he was like, he told me that I should start selling men's clothes because their images, the guys that are selling on Poshmark, their photos suck so bad. He thinks that's why it's not growing yet. But I think if guys start jumping on Poshmark now, because especially anyone that's already experienced and you know how to take pictures of clothes, you'll definitely have a much greater advantage with that and be able to make some good sales.
Do you do any cross promoting between the two?
Yes,
Do you
certain things.
start do you start on one and move to the other?
I sell on 3 platforms.
Okay.
So I kind of know which one has like more of a niche for different items.
Okay.
So I kind of like stick to those, but there's certain brands like I know LuLaRoe. I list that like all over because it's popular. But more like plus size and old lady brands, I kind of those go on eBay.
That's smart.
And then
Um,
I sell on Vinted. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a really small app. It's not really well. It's That's what I started selling on. So like trendy, cheapy, like Forever 21 stuff, I'll throw over there.
gotcha. So is I think on Poshmark there's a flat rate shipping. Can you explain that?
The flat rate shipping, I'm not sure exactly how much it is. I know they increased it, but I haven't shopped on there in a while. I think it might be like 6.95.
Sounds
It's
right.
is I think I'm right. I think it's 6.95, and the flat rate covers up to 5 pounds, and it's priority. So I think it's great because with Poshmark, the customer has to receive their item before you get paid. So with it being priority, you know that they're going to receive it within 2 to 3 days. So you're getting paid faster. Whereas other apps, they offer, like the first class shipping for small items, which, yeah, you save money, but at the same time, you're getting your items a lot quicker.
That makes sense. And I think eBay is really behind the ball on all of this stuff. They're making shipping on eBay is complicated. I mean, every single person can have a different policy, and there's no uniform process. And people are used to shopping on either flat rate, like Poshmark, every item is the same, or if you shop on Amazon, every item is the same. Like if
Right.
you are Prime, it's already built into the price. You don't have to think about it. So I think eBay's way behind. So one thing that people really like about Posh is that it automatically charges them. I believe, if you accept the best offer. Is that the case?
Yes, yes. And that's another thing I should have mentioned in my top three favorite things. I love that when you accept that offer, it goes through right away. So I feel like your um, buyers are more likely to get that sale to go through, because I know sometimes even if it's like a lowball offer, but I'm like, I know that it's going to go through, so we're more likely to accept that offer. Whereas eBay, you're kind of like, is this person going to pay? Should I counter? And then you have to play the waiting game and wait for them to pay for the item.
Yeah, and I'll even do that. I'll even counter offer on eBay the same offer and say you have to pay within 24 hours or I'm going to relist it because there's no, I, you know, it's a lose lose. There's no, I don't see a winner with making letting people take as long as they want to pay. I just,
Yeah, I agree. I just set it up where it's like, what do you call it? Like if they don't pay within 2 days, it's like an automatic case that gets open.
mhm.
But I'm still kind of a newbie with eBay, and so I had that happen to me, and then I heard nothing, and then 30 days went by, and it still says like on like it's still sitting there as not paid. So I'm like, yeah, forget it. This person's clearly not paying. It's been 30 days.
No, that's true. I think that's a huge thing. I wish eBay could. I mean, they can. I know they can set it up. I actually do not know the reasoning behind. Like, there's no penalty. You
Yeah,
can regularly not pay. I mean, if I guess if you do it 100 times, maybe you can get kicked out. I actually don't know the exact number. I think you can have at least you can have unlimited strikes, but you can, as a seller, you can block people that never pay. I guess.
I feel like they should have like a rule of like 24 hours at least, like something that they can like have time, like if they're busy, they're at work, so they get home from work and then pay. But to just let it go like that, it's like, that's frustrating.
How do you feel about the best offer process? Is there a specific number of offers they get, like eBay?
No, it could keep going forever.
Do you ever have the battle where it goes on?
Yes, yes. And I'll just keep countering at my lowest, and they'll keep going and going. And then finally, I'll decline it. Like, usually when you decline, it ends. But then sometimes they want to come back like a month later after it's been discounted a couple times, and they want to try it again.
That makes sense. Can you run a sale on Poshmark?
I'm sorry.
Can you run a sale?
Um, you can set up a bundle discount.
Mm.
That's about it. But you can't put your your closet on sale. But who knows? I mean, that could be a feature in the future.
Could I ask how many items you have on Poshmark?
Sure. I think right now I have about 487.
So like almost 500. That's a lot.
Yeah, I had my goal to reach 500, and I reached it, but then it's so hard sometimes with things selling to try and keep up, and you got to list more than what you're selling. So
And do you think you get 5 sales a day? How many sales do you have each day, do you feel like?
it kind of depends on the day. Some days I get as much as like 20 to 25 sales a day. This
Mm.
week, last week, I actually had my first 0 day. I was
Wow.
what? I cannot believe this. I had two of them that week, but yeah, it's all over the place. It's not. I can't really say like a set amount.
How do you know like if an item is older? Does Poshmark let you know easily if you um like if stuff is old?
Like the day that you listed it,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't let you know. So you kind of have to keep track of that. I can tell by the style of my photos because my photos kind of improved over time. So
Hmm.
usually I'll go through, and if I see like my older style of pictures and it's not selling, it's been sitting for a while, I'll just delete it, redo the photos, and then relist it.
Mm, I got you. Because it seems like it'd be hard to manage a larger store on Poshmark. I guess I have one more question on the. Can you enter in the cost of your item on Poshmark?
Like the original.
Like what you paid for it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't tell people what I paid for it, but it lets you put original price, which basically like what it retails for,
Okay.
and you add your price of what you're listing it for.
I see. Okay, that's good. eBay doesn't allow you to do that. The reason why I ask is like I know. Do you sell on Amazon at all?
No, I haven't ventured there yet.
So I'm dabbling with Amazon, and if you use Amazon tools, all of them allow you to enter in like what you actually paid for the item.
Oh
And I
wow.
think that's cool. I mean, the customer doesn't see that, but that way you can track like how much money you actually have spent on your inventory. But with eBay and Poshmark, it seems like you really have no idea what your total investment is, unless you do line by line accounting.
Yeah. That I mean,
So
I feel it would be great if they did add that because it would save us a lot of time because the end of the month when you go out to run your numbers, sometimes it can take forever to try and figure out where you're at with your profits.
do you feel like Poshmark is a place where people go to get a deal or to get stuff that's stylish?
I feel like it's more for like style rather than a
Okay. I think
but
that's important to know because people are going to eBay looking for a deal.
right, and that's why I feel like with Poshmark you can make more money on items rather than eBay. eBay's known for cheap stuff. So I feel like, I mean not everything. I can't say technically every single thing on eBay is for cheap things, but used clothes they definitely do go for cheaper on eBay compared to on Poshmark.
Are there like huge stores with thousands of items on Poshmark?
Yes. I don't remember the one girl's store name, but I came across it and she has 10,000 items on there.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, that's bulls right there.
So total time, do you think it takes less time to list on Posh?
I think so. I feel like eBay has so many different options with listing. Like they have, pattern and things like that that like Poshmark doesn't have. They just have the basic information like size, brand, you know, basic, and then a spot for your description. That's about it.
Would you, if you're running on Poshmark, would you ever like focus on a specific niche, like maybe all jeans or all dresses, or does that matter, or do you want to have a closet that looks like a closet?
Um, I think it depends on like the person, maybe their style. If they come in contact with a lot of designer jeans, I think that'd be a great idea to open up a Poshmark closet strictly for designer jeans. I feel like then people, because it's all about your following. So that closet would build a following, and people would go to that closet when they're looking for jeans. I think my closet kind of is like the same type of style. I have kind of like a bohemian slash edgy style, so I have
Mm.
a lot of repeat customers.
So you do shop all the same style for your store, you think?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, I throw in things here and there, maybe like some interesting vintage pieces, but majority of it I do stick to the same trends just because I have those repeat customers and I want to keep giving them the same items and good deals.
That's awesome. So, is it, do you want to take pictures that are Instagrammable? Like, do you want a pineapple and a nice wood background, or do you want pure white, or how does the Poshmark photo style work?
Definitely you definitely want your photos to stand out compared to everyone else's. I kind of do keep mine a little bit like Instagram. Some photos I have like just a plain background. If it's a more simple piece like a black pair of shoes, then I'll have a plain black background. But if it's like a cute printed top, I'm definitely gonna put the white fur in there and some green and just help the color pop out.
What about a whole outfit? Do people ever put together, a top and a skirt or something, and shoes and a bracelet? Is that something that you can throw in? Because those flat lay pictures are legit. That's like what Plato's Closet does.
Yeah. Um, I've seen them like that. I have like a couple with maybe like a pair of shoes, but I don't do the whole like crazy flat lay photos. I feel like sometimes people add a little bit too much and you're confused as to like what they really are selling. There's been times I was like, wow, it's such a cute pair, it's 25 bucks, and then I'll click on it and it'll say uh, you know, but the tank top's like all the way up in the corner. So
Hmm.
it can throw off your customer.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think as far as the presentation goes, that is you definitely want to stand out. It sounds like if you're going more for style, you want to stand out versus like eBay really wants like white background or at least neutral background. Let the product be the star type of model.
Yeah, that can get boring.
I think so. And I have chosen to never do a white background, and I'm primarily on eBay just because I think it's boring. So like it's maybe it hurts me in the search a little bit, but it's not worth it to have a super boring store.
And what happens if you're selling like a white or like a tan colored thing? How are you supposed to keep that white background?
It literally looks horrible, and that's why I think that I have a huge advantage on eBay. Still, like if people are saying, "Oh, if you're on YouTube talking about reselling, it's going to hurt the resale market." I don't agree with that because 90% of people are horrible at selling. If you look at the we were scrolling through people's listings, like there's people who do multiple six figures, no lighting. Their stuff is just on their bed, like with the room light. Everything's wrinkled. They still do just fine
Yeah, I see
because
that. Like, holy crap! I don't know why I stress about my photos so much on eBay because when you scroll down, you literally see people like pants just like thrown over the couch.
it doesn't matter. And also, I am under the impression that like if you take a picture of a sweater on the couch, like and it's presented, so 7 out of 10. The person who buys it, that's like where the sweater is going to live in their house on the couch. It's like more natural. But then you see people with perfectly white photos. Um, Everything is fancy, and they still get a return. So like
Yeah,
you can't,
true.
it's not natural. I think people's expectations are way lower when you present it just as a normal person.
Yep, I agree.
So okay, what do you primarily sell item wise? I know your style, your boho.
Uh, I'd say mainly dresses and tops. Those are like,
Dresses and tops.
yeah. Sometimes jeans here and there. I don't find jeans that much. It's really hard for me. I don't know if it's because of where I'm located. It's like I don't really find jeans that crazy. If I do, I get super excited. So, and some shoes here and there.
Are you doing any other type of income right now? Do you live off of Poshmark and eBay?
Yes, I do.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
I've
um, I've been full time now for over a little over a year.
That's
Just
amazing. So do you have aspirations to grow? Do you ever want to hire people? Do you like just doing your own jam? What do you think?
definitely, I would love to get to that point where I can hire people, and I want to like grow with Poshmark and be one of those, like I don't know, one of the top dogs.
Sounds good. What's the next step? You're gonna hit 500 any day now. Then what?
Then I'm gonna go for 1,000.
Wow. So that's gonna be, do you think it's like eBay where in theory you're gonna make twice as much money if you have twice as much stuff for sale? How do you feel about that?
I think so. I noticed a big difference in my income when in the past month, just from taking my store from 300 to 500 listings.
Mm. On do you have a pretty large social media following? Do people who follow you buy stuff from you?
Yes, actually they do. Sometimes it makes me nervous. Like if I post, I'll do like hauls in my stories, and I'll get people message me and they're like, "When are you listing that? I want to buy it." And then I
Right.
feel guilty because they know how much I paid for it, and then I'm like, "Ugh, I hope they don't think that like I'm gonna sell it to them for nothing because I know this is like something awesome."
I know. I tell my Instagram followers it's the same price but with no eBay fee.
Right.
Like I
So
just can't.
a lot of them, sometimes I send over really great offers and then I get excited, or I'll post my sales and I'll get comments, and some girls will be like, "Ooh, that's me, I bought that."
Right. I'll give people a discount if they want to buy it on eBay and it's cool because we're adding to the feedback and the whole community thing. But, um, I usually don't have an issue. Most of the people who follow me who will buy, they will actually pay what I'm asking,
Oh,
even
that's
though they're
awesome.
resellers.
Right. I think it's like the community, we kind of know like how hard we work, and we know that if we really want something, it doesn't matter how much somebody else paid for it. Like you're gonna pay for something that you want. I've bought off other resellers too. It's like I see something, I'm like, I want that. I don't care if you paid $7 for it. I'll pay 40 for it.
I know. I just tell everyone I get everything for free. It doesn't matter what you get it for. You know, like the market says it's supposed to be $40, so how about $39? Because I know you. I don't know. Like um, it is funny. So, what do your friends think of what you do?
They don't really care for it too much. They just don't understand it.
I
They're just
agree.
going to Goodwill again.
So, if you're on, are you because the reseller community is kind of an interesting gig? Do you have reseller friends locally?
I have made friends off of social media. Some I've met before. Uh, Actually, I was at Goodwill at the bins that I go to, and a couple girls recognized me. They're like, "Hey, are you the queen of thrifts?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they were really cool, friendly. We talk. Sometimes we talk on Instagram, so it's cool.
It is weird being recognized because they know you, but you don't know them.
Well, yeah, and then I get that like anxiety, like, oh my god, I hope I'm not like a disappointment or I look weird and crazy compared to like my pictures.
I know. People are always, I emailed you 4 months ago and you didn't respond, jerk. No, I
Oh
mean, it's
god.
what's your DMs like? Do you have a lot?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard like with my Instagram growing. Sometimes I'm still kind of like, why these people are like messaging me for advice, and I'm like, I'm just selling clothes over here. I don't know. So yeah, sometimes it can get a little crazy. I try to respond all the time just because I know when I first started years ago, I messaged a couple, resellers on eBay because I wanted to be a top eBay seller and I never got a response. So I felt some type of way. So now that, I've learned everything myself. So now I want to be the person that responds to people. I don't want to be that asshole that's like, just ignores everybody. So I do respond to people's questions.
I hear you. Yeah, it gets a little bit overwhelming sometimes, but most of the time I will respond back to people. The ones that I have trouble, I usually don't respond if someone's like, "How much should I sell this for?"
Oh,
Uh,
well, yeah. It depends.
that's tough,
If it's one of those things, it's kind of like common sense. I don't answer, or I get, "Hey, I'm in Pennsylvania. Where do you thrift?" Like,
right?
I'm not telling you that.
I don't do any thrifting. I do it online. Yeah, it's tough when you have people in your area. That's the reason why I hid my solds because I didn't want people in the same area because people will literally try to find the exact same route as me.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm trying to keep it a little bit secret.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't even shop at my bins anymore because it's gotten so bad with sellers that when they do bin changes, I can't even get into the bin. Like you're shoulder to shoulder with people. It's crazy there. So I don't do it anymore. I can't do it. It's too insane, too overcrowded. Sometimes I'm like, I hope it's not my fault. Like, people that are, going over to those bins. It was never like that before.
No, I can see that. I mean, I've only been doing this since January, and the number of people that are doing it in my area has like quadrupled. If I go on a route, I will recognize somebody. There's no way that I can do even one day without one person seeing me. But there's a lot of resellers in California. Then there's also 200 thrift stores here.
Wow.
So it's like there's a lot of wealthy people here. And what about brand new with tags? We have Hustlebee in the chat. He sells mostly Nike on eBay. Could he sell mostly Nike shoes on Poshmark?
Absolutely. I
So
saw
there are sellers who do new.
I sold a pair of Nike shorts today on Poshmark.
Was it new?
Um, not new at tags, no.
Gotcha. Okay, let's talk about sharing. I have no idea what sharing is. What is that for Poshmark?
It's when you share your item, it goes onto the feed. So all your followers see it on their feed. So you want to constantly keep sharing because it bumps your item up to the top of the feed. So what I'll do is, and it also switches the order of your Poshmark closet. So like if you,
Mm.
so you kind of want to like keep rotating your store. I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll start from the bottom and then do edit list or some edit list, blah blah blah, whatever, and it'll share it and it'll bump that item up to the top. So a lot of people will start from the bottom and then go all the way up, and then they share their whole closet. I like to switch it up a little bit, so I'll do like a chunk at a time to switch the order because I feel like the people when they go onto your closet, they don't want to see the same stuff at the top. You want to like switch it up sometimes.
So if I start one and I never share, am I going to be successful on Poshmark?
No,
You have to share.
have to share. You don't have to share all day, but you do want to share. So because when let's say you list a Nike T-shirt and you never share it, you know how many other people are out there listing Nike T-shirts, and theirs is going to be on the top. Yours is going to be hard to find.
So people scroll this feed looking for goods.
Right. Well, some people. I mean, most people shop using the search bar. But when they use the
Right.
search bar, the top ones are going to be just shared.
Wow. Is there such thing as like promoted listings for eBay where you can pay to have that premium placement?
You can't promote your listings through Poshmark now.
Okay, that's kind of cool because it's more of a level playing ground. Everyone can share and do that. So, is there a Posh robot I can buy that will share for me so I don't have to do that?
No, I mean you can hire somebody to do it.
And then that seems like a lot of work compared to eBay, just throwing it up and then forgetting about it.
Yeah.
But so Tracy Thrifts in the chat has been commenting a lot about it. She's saying you need to follow new users as well. What do you think?
Yes. You need to welcome new users and follow new people all the time. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't follow new people every day. I think it's I do follow people, just not every day. Maybe if I have time before I go to sleep at night, I'll just go into the new people and I'll start following down the feed. But I don't follow every day. It's kind of hard to do that when you're, sharing and listing and shipping. That'd be too much.
How do you feel? Okay, so let's talk about your week. Let's talk about your life. Do you think like you're trying to get 100 new things onto Poshmark? Like, how do you decide what you're gonna do for the week? Because I've only been full time for a couple of months. So I'm still trying to decide what my life's supposed to look like. So, are you sourcing, listing? How do you do it?
Um, for a while, I had a really good routine down, but I kind of slacked on my routine when I took my store from 250 listings up to 500. It was kind of like I was sourcing every other day because I really wanted to build my inventory. But I think once you're at that spot where you have, you got your store going, you should, select days for sourcing. I don't know about you, but I travel over an hour to source. So sourcing for me, that's an all day event. I don't list those days. That's my day for sourcing. So I try to do that at least twice a week.
And do you have a number of listings you'd like to get done each week?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Do you have a number of listings that you try to get each week?
No, I try to get 10 to 20 a day.
Okay. After I hit my 10,000 item goal, I'm gonna try Posh. I can't wait to try Posh, but not until I'm done with my eBay goal. But I think Poshmark it sounds interesting, and if there's not a lot of dudes on there, maybe it is a good. Sorry about the static. So for on eBay, I would say because I sell primarily men's clothing, I would say 30% of my buyers, even though I sell men's stuff, are women. So I think either a guy's using their girl's account or she's buying a gift for her dude. I don't know. Um, what percentage of your buyers are women on Poshmark? Most?
I'd say 100%. I haven't seen any men.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair enough. Um, let's see. People are saying that it's exhausting trying to follow, share new people, and continuously share their stuff. You have a schedule for when you do it each day?
Basically, what I'll do is when I wake up in the morning, Gotta have my coffee first. And then while I'm drinking my coffee, I'll share my whole closet during my coffee time.
Gotcha.
Then after that is when I'll, if I have stuff already photographed from the night before, I'll list that. If not, then I'll jump on a shipping. I only live right up the street from the post office, so I'll drop that off, come home, and then that's when I'll start my photographing and listing.
Okay. So I saw your thing on Instagram, your story when you didn't have your coffee and you weren't functioning. So your boyfriend can drink coffee black like me. So what do you have to put in your coffee? Milk?
Almond milk.
Almond milk. Okay. So how do you make your coffee?
Our coffee maker just broke, so now we use this thing. It's I don't know what it's called. Manny has it. He's the one who brought it. It's like a metal cup. I think, is it a percolator?
Yeah,
Yeah, a percolator. So, but I feel like the coffee tastes so much better when it's made that way compared
it
to
does. It tastes really good.
love it.
Sounds good. So does your boyfriend help at all?
No. Well, yeah, I can't say no. He does put my inventory away. So I don't know if you can see my background, my inventory. I have it numbered. So when I'm listing, I put it in little baggies with the number on it, and basically it'll be a huge pile in the corner of the room. And when Manny gets home from work, he'll help me put away inventory.
Does he care about your when you talk about eBay or Poshmark, does he roll his eyes or does he
No,
like talking about it?
no, he's very supportive. He'll come up with different ideas for me and help me out. He's gone. I've dragged him to thrift stores with me a lot.
Well, that's good. And has he had any interest in joining you as a power reselling couple?
Yes. Once I get to, making enough money that he's able to quit his job, then he'll join me.
Wow, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Um,
So he's good at thrifting. Like, he finds really cool vintage stuff.
no, that's great. I wonder what it would be like with my girlfriend if we teamed up and became a duo, doing it both full time. Because like I follow Rally Roots, and it looks like they have a pretty nice relationship working together.
Yeah, I've seen them on YouTube a couple
So
times.
who do you like to follow? Who should I follow? I want to posh all of a sudden. Who would I do it with?
I have I have two favorite poshers. The first one, her name is Ornamental Stone. Her name's Jade. I've met her in person already. She's really cool. She was featured on CBS for Poshmark.
Ornamental stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next one would be the deal.
Or that's Alex too, right?
Yep.
Do you have to be named Alex to do well on Poshmark?
No.
Okay. Ornamental. I'm sorry, ornamental
Stone.
stone.
Ornamental Stone. Yeah. She doesn't. Her Instagram is just really cool. She doesn't really show a lot with her reselling stuff, but she does. She was published through CBS. There's like a news station, and she's on there, and she talks about it. But I'd consider her a friend and posh mentor.
Posh mentor. I think Alex charges for mentoring. She has a mentoring program, maybe.
She does.
The deal queen.
I don't know.
Have people reached out to you for professional help? Like, do they want to pay you to help?
People can pay me for me to help them. I'd love to.
Because that might be something you consider. Because, like, for me, I know a lot of people it, over the years that like helping people, and I've done the same thing. Like, I want to spend 10 hours of my week helping people, and the rest of the time selling stuff because it's fun,
Right.
and you always get new ideas, usually from beginners. I don't get very many ideas from experts. They're set in their ways generally, and they're not trying new things really. They've already figured out a way to make profit their way, and
Yeah.
then so how much time do you spend sharing a day? Someone's asking in the chat. Can you limit it to only coffee time?
Um, I mean, let's say if it's a sourcing day, yeah, I just shared my closet one time. Sometimes I don't share it all day. So I feel like people kind of over exaggerate with how much you really need to share and follow. You don't really have to share and follow that much, but that's if you're selling great stuff that people want. If you have a closet full of cute, trendy clothes that people want, they're gonna find them.
Yeah, I think that's the key for eBay. Like you could sell Patagonia in a pile in the back of your car seat. You don't really need to even do anything. That's
Well,
like good enough.
at the end of the day, it comes down to what do the people want.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna get to the next level. Can I ask how many of those bins you have?
Uh, 27.
27. Wow. That's cool. And no shelves.
Not yet. I think once we are gonna upgrade to like a two-bedroom, because I'm in a tiny one-bedroom apartment. So once we get to the two-bedroom and I have my own, set office room, then I'm gonna invest in the shelves. I just think it's kind of pointless right now because it would take up more space than what we already have.
Gotcha. So this is, do you get a workout lifting the bins? Is it always something that sells on the bottom of the bottom bin?
Yeah, when I look and I'm like, damn, it's on the bottom bin. It's like doing deadlifts like 25 times.
How many items do you put in a bin?
20 items in each bin.
20. Me too. Same, identical. 20 items. That seems to be a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how much really fits.
so we talked before the call that this is your living room slash office. Has it taken over your life as far as stuff everywhere?
Yeah. My boyfriend says our apartment's starting to pop seams.
Wow, that's awesome. So ideally, do you want to separate it? Like, would you ever want an office or a warehouse and keep your home only your home, or do you like kind of running out of your house?
Honestly, I feel like because I'm so passionate about it, like I love it and I'm in love with my inventory and I need it to be with me. My boyfriend told me I should get like a storage unit and stuff, and I'm like, oh, because those are my clothes. They're like, it's like my child.
No, I agree. I think that that's cool having, and it's really great having stuff that you actually like because then you don't mind being around it all day. And if you like, how would you feel about listing stuff that's profitable but you don't like it?
I wouldn't like it. I think that's why I don't sell. Harley, come here. And that's why I don't sell like men's clothing or that much stuff on eBay. Like that's like, like I feel like I have to love it because what happens is the stuff that I really really love that I would want to keep for myself. That's the stuff that usually ends up selling for the most money.
Hmm. Do you use a mannequin?
No, I used to, but I just didn't like the way it looked because it doesn't properly show like the item and how it looks. I feel like it looks weird on mannequins.
So how do you display your clothing?
Mostly flat lays.
Wow. So how do you feel on Poshmark? Is there a lot of flat lay? Because I've heard it doesn't work with women because the chest region folds weird, so you can't do flat
Right.
women's clothing.
Right. It's just I think it's weird on the mannequin, but I mean the flat lays work for me. I feel like it's like as long as you know how to position it flat to really show what the item is. Like I know if my phone keeps like going, I know like if something, like uh, trying to explain, like a fit and flare dress. If it flares out so much with the flat, like you don't want to make it flat all the way out. You kind of want to bring it in and make some wrinkles in it. It gives more of an
Mm,
idea of what it's going to look like when it's draped on you.
gotcha.
Gotta get creative.
Do you ever get questions like, "Can you put it on the mannequin for me?"
Oh my god, yes. In my descriptions, I put like no modeling because obviously I don't have time to model everything. But I get a lot of times people like, "Can you model?" But I'll just say, "Sorry, I don't model."
What about do you ever source in your size or purposely never source in your
I'm sorry.
do you ever source in your size?
Yeah, I source in all size. I mean, if it's cute, I'll grab it, no matter what size it is.
Gotcha. Because I've heard don't source in your size, so you're never tempted to keep it.
Sometimes I do. I do keep a lot. Maybe I'll wear it a couple times and then I'll sell it.
Gotcha. That's smart. And so, how much of your actual closet is thrifted?
It's all thrifted, but I have like a huge background with thrifting. I've been thrifting my whole life, so everything I own is thrifted. Like, not gonna lie, I think 98% of my stuff is thrifted.
How many things? What do you buy that's new with tags?
Underwear and bras,
Oh, yeah. That
socks.
makes sense. Yeah. And I'm assuming on Poshmark they have the same rules as eBay. You can't sell undergarments that are used, or is
Oh, yeah,
it?
absolutely. That's gross.
Sounds good. Same rules. Um, okay, let's talk about demographic. If you were selling career clothing, could you do it on Poshmark, or is it really only teeny bopper or under 30 crowd, you think?
Career clothing sells amazing on Poshmark. I just
Okay,
sold today a J. Crew like sheath dress like 2 hours ago for $47.
nice. So it can definitely be career clothing as well, but the demographic might still be younger.
I think I think more older people are joining Poshmark. I mean, I think women my age and maybe up to I'd say like 35 would prefer shopping on Poshmark other rather than other reselling apps, because the other reselling apps like Macari, those are more known for teeny boppers, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, so I want to start Poshmark. I want to be 10K on Poshmark. What do I do before? Does my screen name matter? Do I need to do any banners or graphic design? Do I need an Instagram that matches? What do I do first?
The first thing, I mean, I think name is kind of important, but not really. You don't really need something crazy. I think as long as your photos are good and you just follow a crap ton of people when you first make your account, you'll be good to go.
Are you the same username on Instagram as you are on Posh?
No, my Poshmark is the Gray Fawn. It was the name is I had like a vintage store a couple like 2 years ago, so it was supposed to be strictly vintage, but then that changed, so I didn't make a new account since it was already starting to get a following.
Gotcha. Ken says I have to wear a wig if I sell on Poshmark. Maybe, I don't know. I wonder how an all men's store on Poshmark would do.
I think it would do great. I know the Deal Queen. She just started a men's Poshmark account, and she posts like her stats on Instagram, and she's doing really good.
So a separate account.
She made a separate account. I think the name is Poshmark Poshman HQ HD, I
Wow.
something like that.
That's crazy. Okay, so let's talk about you the last couple of minutes. You have a YouTube channel. What do you talk about, and who follows you, and what are you providing for people?
I basically it started as like a personal YouTube account where I was just showing stuff that I thrifted, and I was too shy to say I was reselling. But then I just came out and said I was reselling it. So I do thrift hauls and advice, things like that. I was slacking on YouTube a little bit, so now I'm starting to pick up again.
Where can people find you on YouTube and Instagram?
YouTube and Instagram, I have the same username. It's the Queen of Thrift with two E's in the, so it's like the Queen of Thrift.
Oh, the Queen of Thrift. Awesome. I have your channel linked in the description, guys. If you guys haven't followed or subscribed, go take a look at it. And is it mainly Poshmark oriented, or is there eBay stuff in there too?
There's a little bit of eBay stuff, but I'd say it's more Poshmark related just because Poshmark's my number one.
Poshmark is Bay for you.
Poshmark is definitely Bay.
Okay. So once you get going, is there any tips that you have that you think um, so it sounds like it's the same as eBay for getting started. Just do it, right? Just get a bunch of stuff up, start following people right away, and list good
Yeah,
quality
I'm
items.
sorry. I have to plug in my charger. My phone is dying.
No worries.
Hold on.
I love the
All right.
in action shot in the warehouse.
All right. So you said if you get started on Poshmark,
Yeah, what are your tips for the people? What are your best tips?
best tips, definitely list at least 10 items to start.
Okay.
Follow a bunch of people. Like when you go to like the menu and you select find people, go to new users and just hit follow, 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 follow. Keep following, keep listing, and keep sharing.
Do you recommend buying some stuff to see how it works?
I think so, just so you can get an idea of like the rating system, things like that.
What about handling time?
Handling time, they give you a week to ship, but
Wow.
you definitely want to ship before that, because if you don't ship within 4 days, you're going to get a notification. And I'll tell you what, I've shipped things sometimes. I'll ship even like 3 days later. Like, let's say I made a sale on like Friday or Thursday night and I don't get it shipped out till Monday. I'll get like a 1-star rating because due to shipping time.
How does the feedback work on Poshmark?
It's actually pretty cool because no one can see your ratings that are under 5 stars.
Hmm.
So if someone leaves you like a 1 star and leaves you a nasty comment, like other people can't see that. They can only see love notes, which are left when you leave like a 5 star rating.
Okay, so I know I follow Travel and Thrift, and he says when he shops on Poshmark, he gets packages sometimes with that are wrapped in tissue paper with a heart and a smiley face and all these other goodies inside. Is that common? And do customers appreciate that, or do you think it's a waste?
Personally, I think it's a waste. I don't do all that. I used to when I first started, but do you have any idea how long it takes to write out 35 thank you cards? It's so time consuming. So now what I'll do is I'll just put it in like a clear poly mailer, and then I have a thank you sticker. Like I just order like the thank you stickers off Amazon. I'll stick a thank you sticker on it and then I'll put it either in the priority box or like a decorative poly mailer. That's it. I think like the tissue paper, the ribbons, and all, it's just going to get thrown away. And it's so wasteful to use all that stuff.
Agreed. Okay, last question. How do returns work on Poshmark?
Okay. So if someone orders something and they receive it and it's not as described, they have the option that they can file a claim. And what will happen is it'll let you put in your input, like your side of the story. They'll compare your photos in your listing compared to the photos that the buyer submitted for the claim, and then the team will decide on what's, like what's fair. I've lost some claims and I've won some claims, so I
Sounds
mean,
good.
yeah, like it's still better than just having it automatically just like return like how eBay does.
Right, yeah, they can open a return for any reason.
Right. Like I had a return on eBay for no reason at all. The person said there was a bunch of pilling in the crotch of the pants, and they sent a photo and it was a complete different color of the pants. So when I received the pants back, there's nothing wrong with them, and they had it for 28 days.
And Chad's saying they have 3 days to file a claim. Is that a thing?
Yes, they have 3 days to file the claim. If they receive their item, they have 3 days to file the claim. If they don't file the claim, it's automatically accepted and your funds are released.
So you do have to wait until like 3 days to get your cash?
No,
No,
it
okay.
like if they receive it and they hit accept and they review you, then the funds are automatically released into what's called like your wallet, and then you do like a direct deposit from there, and it takes 1 business day. So I
Okay.
always do my payouts on Thursdays, like every Thursday. Whatever's in there, I'll do a payout. So it's like I'm getting paid every Friday as if I'm working a regular job.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming this week. I want to be respectful of your time. I think Ken is the Hustle Bee on Instagram. He's in the chat. I just made him an admin, and he sells mostly shoes. Ken, they actually have flat 6.95 shipping up to 5 pounds. So I think shoe sellers might have a pretty good advantage on Poshmark because your shipping cost is potentially $5 to $10 cheaper than eBay, which makes a difference. Price does matter. Alex, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you one more time, and then we'll call it a night.
Sure. You guys can find me at the Queen of Thrift, both YouTube and Instagram.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Hit the like and subscribe on the way out, and check out Alex's channel. Thanks, guys.